Welcome to episode 2 of the Why I Play series, the cheap and easy builds that anybody can afford to play. Hello everybody, and welcome to the second video on the class that I decided to do after I got done with my Dual Totem Sporker. I recommended the Dual Totem Sporker because it's really easy to level up. You don't have to be in the fight at all, and it makes it so if you want to switch to IR eventually you can, help people get gear, find maps easy. But my second class is officially called the Blender build. I'll have the link at the end of that with the credit for the person who actually designed the video, but it is a fast attacking dual striker that if you get a Bringer of Rain you can eventually switch to Cyclone, but Cyclone does function pretty well on its own. This is a solo map in Cruel. And the reason that I waited so long to show you guys another class that I chose to pick is because I don't like showing classes that can't be viable in maps based on not having a crazy amount of gear. Like, your normal person playing this game isn't going to have a Bringer of Rain. They're not going to be lucky enough to have, all these named unique items that cost X amount of Exalted, and that's not something that I'm interested in showing you guys. I mean, I have a Trapper that I'm building right now, and it's because I have a few unique items, but the only reason I'll show you guys that is because those unique items aren't incredibly hard to get. Nobody wants to build a Trapper. They're actually a lot of fun. But anyways, getting into this guy, you can see I don't have a problem anywhere in here. I have enough Life Leech to survive these guys. I can Cyclone through these guys if I so choose. And the reason I'm showing you guys docks right now is because of the fact that I don't have any way to get away from mobs. I switched recently to a different type of weapon that doesn't allow you to use Whirling Blades, and I don't actually have a
my spirit is spent.
A Leap Slam kicking around. So without a Leap Slam, I'm basically just stuck in these mob piles. It's hard to blast your way out with a Quicksilver pot, so here I am stuck in these. But you can see, even if situations get a little hairy, all it is just having a regular health pot. I'm not using anything else. And not having a problem with any of the mobs here at all, whether they be rare or not. I'll show you guys all the gems that I'm using in the gear that I have to prove to you that I'm not all geared out and just, making stuff up. I only probably have like 1 or 2 pieces of gear that are above average, and even those things are not hard to get at all. So upon killing these guys, we'll go and find a room that has 5 people in it so you can see how this functions with a little higher thing. Here's Physical Reflect. It's kind of a joke. Like, as you can see, the amount of leech I have just makes it so he's not really a problem, and that's both build and items. I'll show you guys that in a second. So after beating the Dual Totem for so long and making that pretty much the class that I main, kind of got bored of sitting outside everything and not being able to be involved with the fight so much. So I decided to make something that was a little more involved, and ended up with this class, and just got really lucky on the fact that I didn't have to have too much gear. I wasn't sure how gear dependent this would be, but not bad at all. Here you can see it's just me and another person in a 5-man or a 4-man group. There you go, full group. And you can see I'm not having a problem at all with these guys. I'm doing, anybody who knows 5-man groups obviously up the damage quite a bit, but not having a real hard time with that, that's for sure. So we'll get a little more action in here, show you guys that this guy functions well. I wish I had my Whirling Blades so I could show you guys how that works, but can't do that right now. I'm just gonna have to Quicksilver around until I find another Leap Slam, but I'm too lazy to trade. Trading in this game is such a hassle in my opinion, so I can switch very easily to Hatred in here. I'll show you guys what the damage difference is right now. My defense is at like 1100, try and get away from people. 11,000, excuse me, which is a good decent amount. That's just from the evasion switching to armor. But my damage, 7,900 without Hatred, and with Hatred on, puts me over 10,000. And that turns you into a giant melt machine. Mana gets a little harder to sustain, but nothing that's, completely out of the question as far as speccing around and finding items to do it. But alright, now that I showed you guys what it looks like when you're in a party of 5 in the docks. Isn't that an old sitcom? Oh well. Here we go. We'll start looking at what I'm wearing. I got this guy right here. I qualityed it. None of these items had quality on them, so that's why they have just a little bit extra. But this thing is the best that I found so far. I actually didn't find it. A friend of mine, Ubok, did, but it does a lot of damage for a one-hander, and got a good amount of physical attack on there. Like I said, this isn't completely unattainable. Anybody could get this. The increased attack speed roll was fantastic. Physical damage roll was great. This I've had forever. I can't seem to replace it. I don't know if it's the attack speed that makes it so it's hard to replace, or if it's the added fire damage or what, but it is really good. Ended up working out really well. And here you can see I stack the hell out of evasion rating. Like this piece right here doesn't even have any health on it, but it has 784 evasion rating and some resistance. That's enough for me. It's keeping me alive in maps, you know. This is the piece that I was telling you about that might be a little harder to find on your own. I just happened to get really lucky on a roll, and the evasion rating is through the roof. 2100 is really high, at least as far as I know. Somebody else probably has something right now and is laughing at me, but either way, decent roll on that. Your belt, just regular health, strength, physical damage, couple resistance. Here, some evasion boots. They had a decent roll on them with life and evasion, so I decided to quality those. And I don't quality things very often. I use a lot of my stuff, but like this, for instance, I won't quality that because it doesn't already have an evasion roll on it. I just tried and find something better, but to resistance, then my Karn chart. I like this guy due to the leech, but it's the extra gore that keeps me using that. I mean, it reduces my life and all, but it's just way too fun not to use. This ring right here does a little extra damage. It's actually more for a infernal blow that I have going, but he's not high enough level to use it. So, and then just your regular diamond ring that gives you that little bump with stuff, and a little mana leech. You're gonna need some mana leech. And to quickly go over what I'm using for the gems here, as you can see, I have melee splash with multi-strike. You're gonna start with dual strike and multi-strike early on. It's very easy to do. A little faster attack there. And that's basically what you'll be linking. Your reduced mana with the two things you're going to be using there as far as auras go. And level up your Enduring Cry, and more melee physical damage for if you get a 5-link. I do have a 5-link kicking around for this, but this just has too high of a roll to use it. Cyclone for when you want to be the blender eventually, if you do get that Bringer of Rain, and Whirling Blades to get around, unless you're like me and you got rid of all your knives, so you can't use it. So maybe toss a Leap Slam in there, but also got an added fire in there for if you ever get a 6-link on here. You'll be able to toss that into the mix and you'll be doing all sorts of damage. A quick overview on the stat. This is what you're going to be looking like. You're going to be picking up Resolute Technique. You're going to be going and speccing into Iron Reflexes. And then you're going to go all over the place over here, but I'll actually link to the guide where the person actually went through all the hassle of figuring out whether that's good. But as you can see right here, I'm not overly rich, so I'm not spending a lot of stuff to get stuff. I have, you know, a limited amount of maps, a few things, but nothing that's making me so I'm like, oh, I want this, I'm going to go buy it. So stay tuned at the end of the video where I'll show you the actual link to everything so you guys can by piece this and get it squared away on your own, because obviously this guide isn't made to show you guys exactly how to build it. I'm not good enough to do that kind of thing, and somebody else definitely is. So I hope you guys enjoyed the second installment of what I'm playing and why I'm playing it, and like I said, this is a cheap, easy build, and we'll get you all the way to maps and keep you functioning there. Thanks for watching. This is the link right here, and it'll also be in the description so you can check it out.